The Amgen Tour of California in its second day took its first time start ever from Rancho Cordova, and it was a long way to South Lake Tahoe, 133 miles, but it was in warm, sunny conditions. The destination for the riders on this tour, on this daily race to Pasadena. Field riding away from Rancho Cordova, in the distance the snow-capped mountains of the Sierra Nevada, and it was 7 riders, Bob, that shaped the day of racing.
Pretty impressive breakaway. 7 men getting up the road. Evan Huffman, one of them, being followed by the man in yellow, overnight race leader Peter Sagan.
Sagan back in the peloton, but he's looking quite confident as the riders continue to climb up towards the Kirkwood summit. George Bennett, another star for the future, sat there. Everything seemed going well until one of George Bennett's teammates suddenly found himself on the ground. Danny Van Poppel touching the wheel of the rider in front of him. He would rejoin the race, but Mark Cavendish would not. The famous sprinter from Great Britain under mentioned data off the back on the long climb to the Kirkwood summit. Taylor Phinney then had fresh ideas, Bob. He put his team, education first. The pressure came on.
Back up to the breakaway, splitting up under the pressure of the EF first, education first team. Taylor Phinney's effort. He had to drop off the back after doing a big turn of work on the front.
Edward Anderson, who put in an attack too, was the last to be caught of the surviving 7 riders, and then Lachlan Morton put in an attack. Education first clearly had a plan for the day.
Lachlan being chased by a pretty select group, catching him towards the end of the stage, but this is the aggression going over the King of the Mountain points there on Kirkwood Summit. Lachlan Morton solo off the front. That would not last long though.
This race was now splitting up all over the mountains. It was turning out to be a great race, and it was not the stars of the race, the men we expected, who was largely dictating the pace. It was Cataford of the Israel Cycling Academy who went over the top of the Carson Pass in first place. Then we were treated to some great descending here from Casper Asgreen. The field was becoming very select indeed.
Nilson Paulas taking up the tempo in the front group here. This is a very interesting breakaway, but followed pretty quickly by the men from Jumbo-Visma as well as EF.
The only big names up in the front of the group in the action all day were Rowan Dennis, Felix Groschartner, and also TJ Van Garderen. But there were big names left behind in the main field, never more than about a minute and a half back. And Asgreen today was on fire.
Joined here by Ballarini, but they were shortly caught within sight of the finish line. Big acceleration now from Asgreen. An impressive ride by the man on the De Koenig squad, and another great ride by Tadej Pogačar, that man number 31 from UAE, to find himself in the front group.
Yes, Tadej Pogačar, 20 years of age, not 21 till September, joined the front runners as they turned up to the long climb to the finish just outside of South Lake Tahoe in Heavenly. TJ Van Garderen put in an enormous attack, but it didn't crack Gianni Mosca number 1, and it certainly didn't crack the man who was going on to win this race either. Asgreen, who'd been a star all day and never afraid to work, was about to take his first ever World Tour victory. And another victory for the Belgian De Koenig Quickstep team, celebrating once more a victory on top of Lake Tahoe.
27 wins now on the season for De Koenig.
But the rider in second place, and what a great ride it was. Sagan waving to the crowd when he came in. He would lose that leader's yellow jersey because TJ Van Garderen was going to take that. But survive he did. Mark Cavendish, a long, lonely ride with his teammate Bernard Eisel as he came home, but will live to fight another day. Asgreen on the right in the middle, but the yellow jersey on the shoulder of TJ Van Garderen. These are the stage results. Asgreen getting his first ever victory. TJ Van Garderen in second place, same time. Gianni Mosca at 4 seconds. Pogačar at 10. Schachmann at 16 seconds. These are the names we'll be talking about now in this race. Gregor, the Briton, a great ride by Rob Britton. Higuita from Education First as well. Uran did a great night. George Bennett in 10th place. A former winner like TJ Van Garderen. Van Garderen thought he wasn't even the leader when he crossed the line. He thought he was going to go to the Danish man, but he was by 6 seconds over Gianni Mosca and 7 seconds over Asgreen. Pogacar was in 4th place, and Maximilian Schachmann now up into 5th, 22 seconds off the pace. Rob Britton stays in the hunt after 2 days of racing, 33 back. Groschgartner in 9th place. All of the jerseys here on the left, David Bambarini at the front is in the Lexus King of the Mountains, and the green jersey on the shoulders there of Asgreen, the white on Pogacar, and Huffman taking the most courageous rider jersey.